we have Mr. Chris Godowski from Adams 12 5-star schools in Colorado. Welcome, Chris. How are you?
I'm doing well, Dwayne. Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about Adams 12.
You bet. So Adams 12 5-star schools is a district serving about 38,000 students on the north suburban part of Denver. We're the most diverse school district in Colorado from my lens, in that we have schools that serve less than 1% of their students who qualify for free and reduced lunch, and we have schools with 90% plus who do the same. We have schools with more than 60% of their students who are second language learners, and schools with very, very few. So a very diverse school district, meeting the needs of all students is a challenge, and yet it's our commitment that we're proud to live each and every day. We're proud to be the most improved large district in Colorado over the last 5 years as measured by student growth, student achievement, improvement in graduation rates, and the small gaps that we have between various subgroups. And most recently, we're very proud about our work around Learning Pods, which has received state and national attention for serving kids and giving them some support in the midst of remote learning.
Wow, that's awesome. Congratulations, by the way.
Yeah, thank you.
So I wanted to ask you, what efforts is your district making to create equity in the classroom?
Yeah, great question. The Learning Pods piece that I've just mentioned is one of our big commitments to equity in this season. Our Learning Pod initiative was born out of a lot of press reports from northern part of our district and places like Boulder County, where we saw lots of parents at the neighborhood and community level banding together and using their financial resources to have an educator or someone come work with their kids in a small setting. We knew that was an option that was well beyond the means of the vast majority of our parents. And yet we know lots of our kids in poverty without some sort of support akin to that. We're going to continue to struggle with internet connectivity. We're going to struggle with using technology to access their education. We're going to struggle to get consistent meals. We're going to struggle in terms of making adequate progress in school, and their parents probably weren't going to be able to get to work. And so Learning Pods were a way for us, as we've been in this remote stage of education, for groups of up to 12 students to come together, to have online instruction provided by a certified educator, and then our support staff, whether they're bus drivers, paraprofessionals, our before and after school staff, they have come in and worked with students in that setting. And we've been able to serve about 4,000 students through that mechanism. And we're glad that a lot of our students who come from more limited means have been able to have that kind of support. It's been a lot of work, but we feel like it's been well worth the effort. And then beyond that, we've done similar work to support students with disabilities, especially kids with significant disabilities, so that they have some more in-person touches to allow them to make progress.
Great, thank you for that. So how will you sustain these practices over time with the Learning Pods?
So, in terms of Learning Pods, we're actually going to be transitioning next week into some in-person instruction here in Adams 12. The virus rate of transmission has lessened quite a bit from where it was in late July when we made our decision to do remote coupled with Learning Pods. But we have Learning Pods now tested and tried, and if we transition back to remote at some point later in this year, which remains a distinct possibility given how the virus kind of ebbs and flows, we'll be able to bring that back. We'll have the financial resources in place. We'll have people who are trained and experienced, and there's actually some lessons learned that will allow us to do that work even better than we have the first month of the school year.
Wow, that's awesome. So when the pandemic hit, I know a lot of kids were struggling with access to internet. Did you have any of those students, and how did you address that?
Yeah, we had a large number of students with internet connectivity challenges. By some estimates, about a tenth of our total population, so about 3,500 students, struggled either with having no internet at all or having internet that was so low in terms of its bandwidth that students weren't able to connect to video streaming and other parts of remote instruction. And so we put a all hands on deck effort into reaching out to families to help them get connected. There were groups like Comcast that were allowing families to get no cost internet. To get signed up was really complicated and difficult for our families to understand, either because of language barriers or technology barriers and just not understanding the how to. And so we had family liaisons at our schools and other staff at our schools and our IT department, calling parents up and then getting on the phone with Comcast and others to get connected that way. We also had a large number of our families who had reluctance to go that path and to share information about themselves. A good number of our families who did not have internet connectivity are undocumented Spanish-speaking families. And so in many of those cases, we've provided them with hotspots to provide them access. And then most recently, T-Mobile has stepped in to provide some more hotspot access that will get deployed to families who are still struggling in that space.
Wow, you guys are doing some awesome work there. So Chris, we thank you so much for sharing that information, and we hope that you continue doing great things out there in Colorado, and I hope to see you soon.
Thanks, Dwayne. Look forward to seeing you in person too.